Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode number 65 of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Abomination Vaults Adventure Path. Here being done by the collective that is Random Encounter. We are basically getting into the middle of summer. Well, we're starting to move towards it anyway, which means I'm melting. I don't know about anybody else in my esteemed collection here, but I am basically falling apart with the additional heat. I bought a fan. I had a fan. The plan
Fan,
was a fan.
swamp cooler.
Yeah, I had a fan. I had ordered a fan. The fan was going to be here supposedly yesterday. That was the original delivery date, and the wonderful delivery company of mass random products. I'm not going to advertise them. They said it'll arrive. It'll be here by 9 o'clock on Tuesday. And when it got to 9 o'clock on Tuesday and it was still not in the dispatched column, I kind of went, well, that's a done deal, and that's not happening. And then I've now got a message saying it won't arrive until we don't know when. But if it hasn't arrived by the 17th of the month, you might be able to get your money back. When I have a boiling hot room and the potential of a small individual that will need to be able to sleep in said boiling hot room, this might mean it's going to end up costing me some more money tomorrow, but we will see. We will see. So, yes, it's melting, it's hot, it's horrible, and we are still going to be here and we're going to do this stuff. But it also means that some of us are going on holidays soon. So, this is a small and mild warning that we are not going to be as consistent as we attempt or try to be. We're not very good at it, but we try. We at least record often enough. It's just I don't put them out at the right schedule. But we will be down on recording as well. So we're going to be a little bit more hit and miss. But that's just because, you know, it's summer, it's holidays. I hope you expect that. I mean, there's always going to be the chance that things like LARP events will curtail some recording as well with some of this lot. So we can't ever be too precise at this time of year. However, one thing that we are doing at the moment is talking about somebody that makes dice from our LARPing community friendship, and JJ, you're the one with the details and the dice in question, so why don't you take that away again?
I will. As ever, hashtag not sponsored. I bought the dice myself, and they are from Lux Games. So luxgames.co.uk. I'm going to be using the red core and white core set, unless they betray me. In which case I have to get some more. I got my eye because Lux Games, they are a dice and accessories retailer. I have a couple of sets from them. They do metal and plastic dice. I think we've all got our eyes now on one set or another from them as options. And they all look very pretty. Even the standard type ones. I've just put a photo up on my Instagram about them. Are very pretty in aesthetic. So little bags, good little sets, and some are even. I think he's got a Witcher themed set at the moment. So you get like a Witcher coin, or a Siri coin, I think, as well in some of them. So have a look through. Lux Games, you'll find them on Instagram, you'll find them on Facebook, and luxgames.co.uk, the main website.
The key question I have about those, though, is do you have to toss the coins, or can you just roll them like normal?
I'm entirely sure you can toss a coin to your Witcher. Cue music!
No,
As
somebody
no,
said it, 'cause
no,
it's
because
gonna
I'm
be
not,
me.
I'm not getting this this video banned on YouTube for using copyrighted music. So no, we're not going to do that. However, it is there's certainly a lot of decent stuff on there. I have a habit of buying effectively a new set of dice for every character that I play, and sometimes for every game I GM. Since the advent of mostly rolling dice digitally, what tends to happen now is I just create a new pattern of dice on the digital rollers every time. So the obsession with dice and things like that is 100%. But Yeah, I think for the time being, I have my metal dice, which seem to be causing you enough problems as is, so I'll stick with them. I do not plan to buy any more torturous dice. However, in terms of being torturous, I think this upcoming fight might be briefer than was originally scripted, because having allowed a slight amount of mobility and options, because these guys managed to sneak up to a person who has effectively got no dark vision, and good sneaking rolls. We then promptly had a casting of blindness, which I critically failed. Not critically failed, I failed the saving throw for. So the gentleman in question that these guys are approaching, Carmen Rajani, who has stolen one of the artifacts that these guys are trying to find, he is now blind for a minute. 10 whole rounds of him effectively not being able to do much. And by effectively not being able to do much, what I mean by that is not only are every target technically hidden from him, which means he has a 11 or higher roll that he has to make every single attack he tries to make against them. Not only that, but technically he has to guess which square these guys are in, and I'm going to do something in terms of rolls of dice to see if he works out if he's swinging in the right place or not. But these guys are also unnoticed, which really makes things bad because it means he's pretty much permanently flat-footed to a rogue with a sap. Yeah, this is not going to go well for him, I don't think. But what we'll do is we'll just swing it over to the map. And you can see there what we've got, and I'll also put a little bit of music on. That said, we are, however, going to have to go pretty much straight into rolling for initiative. So instead of putting on the music right this second, I'm going to pause, and we'll come back with the values ready to put onto the combat tracker.
Hold up.
Right, okay, we're back up, we're recording. Okay, so I've done my wonderful initiative roll. Let's see what everybody else gets. Neffy, we'll start with you.
9.
Try that again, because you unfortunately cut out.
29.
29. 29. Yeah. Okay, alright. Inva.
9 on the dice plus 9 makes 18.
18. Okay. Phelan.
23.
23. And Moz.
Bring it up with a 21 total.
A 21 total. Well, we'll go through the initiative as it stands then. We're going to start with Neffy with her 29.
I want to remember how far I can actually move in a move.
It's a useful thing to know.
Yeah, I thought I could do it. So I can get... Oh, no, it does help if I come off that bit. There we go. I can actually move now. I'm going to get right up and close and personal.
Okay.
And then I'm going to smack him with the sap. And in doing so, hopefully also mug him.
Right, okay, hang on. So, first plan.
Uh-huh.
You're trying to hit him, I assume, and you're going to use your mug feat. So when you make a melee strike against an adjacent foe, if you hit and deal sneak attack damage, you can attempt to steal from the target, even if the target is in combat. Okay, so first thing you've got to do is hit him.
Okay.
Okay, so make an attack roll.
That would be 27.
27 is going to be a hit, not a critical, interestingly enough, but because of the fact that he is blind and because you've acted before him in combat, you would indeed do sneak attack damage. So, first thing you've got to do is you've got to roll damage. Now, what I will say is this, are you doing non-lethal damage?
Yeah, I don't want to murder the guy
Okay.
until he pisses me off.
So, under which circumstances you'll be doing 2d6 plus 1 points of damage. I don't believe your sneak attack is more than 1 dice yet. It might be, actually. Sneak attack. You currently deal 1d6, and your sneak attack damage is increased at level 5. So you do indeed do 2d6 sneak attack damage.
So I'm doing
effective 3d6 plus 1 damage.
Okay. 3 plus a 5 plus another 3, so 6. 12 points of damage?
12 points of non-lethal damage. Okay. Alright.
Let's work out the muggy thing.
So, the next thing is what can you do in terms of stealing from him? Let's just read very quickly what stealing is. Because I have a feeling this might be quite difficult. So, here you are. You try to take a small object from another creature without being noticed. Typically, you can steal only an object of negligible bulk. So, something unlike a sword, it'd have to be something quite small. You automatically fail if the creature who has the object is in combat, apart from the fact that you don't. Attempt a thievery check to determine if you successfully steal the object. The target number is usually the perception DC of the creature wearing the object. Okay, so this is a general thing. Is there anything that you see on him that you could steal? There might be a couple of of negligible bulk items on him. Obviously, as I said, it won't be anything like the. I'm just checking on this one. It won't be the sword, unfortunately. The sword, it does have a bulk, as you might imagine, but he does have some gold on him, and he also has some thieves' picks on him, by the looks of things, wrapped on his belt. So, what would you like to go for? His money? Or the tool? You want the gold? I want
the money.
I thought you might. Okay, so you wouldn't be able to take all of it. I'd say 10 gold is relatively easy to snatch, as you're doing this. So you need to make a thievery check, please, against the blind person's perception DC.
That's where you want the nat 20.
Okay, so with the nat 20, I'm going to say this. You manage, as you're hitting him round the head with a cross, to slip a bag of coins off of his belt. The amount of coins is going to be 15 gold's worth of coins in that pouch. You don't know this at this point in time, but please put on your character sheet that you've gained 15 gold coins.
Go.
I shall take the equivalent amount off of him. Okay. That's second action. What's your third action?
Oh yeah, I have.
Because
Hang on, no, I move.
Yeah.
I hit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's part of the hit, isn't it?
I believe. Oh no, it says you can attempt to steal, so it is counted as an action. It would be an action.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, under which circumstances it's Phelan's turn.
Okay, I am going to direct Olerin to move up next to the guy. Olerin's got a 25-foot move, so I think it's going to take both his actions.
I would imagine so, yes.
Yeah. So Olerin's just going to mosey over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to probably double move to about here.
Yep. No, that's fair enough.
And that's me done.
That is indeed. Moz, you are next. You can tell how fast this guy is going at this current rate.
I mean, Moz is just standing back there mostly as backstop. So he'll take a step forward slightly into the dark to exploit his dark vision. and will effectively hold an attack.
Okay.
So 2 for 1.
Okay. Under which circumstances, Imber, it is your go.
So I am going to use the message cantrip, which allows me to whisper a message that only the target can hear,
Yep.
as if I was standing next to it.
Okay.
And I am going to tell him, kneel down and surrender. You aren't getting out of this alive if you fight.
Okay. Is that all of your actions?
It's all I'm doing because all my damage is lethal and I don't want to use lethal damage. So I'm going for psyops.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. What I will say is anybody can physically, and I know that's not your forte, physically attack for non-lethal damage. It's just a penalty to the attack roll, to the attack. Okay. I realise
Do we
it's
think
not
I'm
in
built
your.
for strength in the first place?
No,
Let alone with a penalty.
I realise it's not in your wheelhouse. It is. It is Khan's turn. He will shout, say. He says loudly, almost boastful. It's. I don't care. I don't care if you. I can't see you. You'll never take me. You'll never take me alive.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
And then he's going to try and swing for the hills. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d8 for which of the squares he is going to pick. Effectively going for one being the northern value, and we'll go round the clock. And we'll see if he swings. Currently, the only person he can potentially swing at is Neffy. So we will go. Apparently, I'm out of d8s. Where are my d8s? There it is. Right. So, first one. He swings just to the south of where you are. So he got a 5 on that. So he's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, swinging almost like he's swinging towards Olrin, but Olrin is not within range in any way, shape or form, and he starts swinging his sword around. For the second action, he spins, almost assuming that somebody's right behind him, and again, he's just spinning at thin air, completely incapable. And then last action, he's trying again in that same place. It looks like he knows how to use a sword. If he could actually connect with anybody, it might cause damage, but at the moment, he's got no idea where any of you guys are. Right, that's his 3 actions. It is Neffy's turn.
Okay.
He is still flat-footed because he is still blind.
I'm gonna hit him again and go for the lockpicks this time.
Okay, fair enough.
You steal his belt, and by thunder, his trousers will fall down.
That is 27 again.
That is a hit. So 3d6 plus 1
So-
non-lethal damage.
16 points of damage.
16 points of non-lethal damage. Okay. You've given him
And
2
then-
fairly big, hefty lumps on his head now.
Mm-hmm. And then 29 on the thievery to take the lockpicks. Thieves' tools, should I say.
Yes, you will take the thieves' tools from him. Again, it's just like a little leather pouch on his side, and you absolutely take those away from him as he's moving around. I will give those over to your character. Yeah, new set of thieves' tools on top of Atari's thieves' tools. You've got one more action.
Is an option to try and grapple?
So grapple is an option. It's an athletics check against his fortitude DC, I want to say, and I do think it counts as an attack, so it would be at the -5 penalty.
or you could wait until Badger does it.
Yes. No, I have no issue with that. I mean, I can punch him again. I have no issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and punch him again.
Okay.
Oh no, no, that was a fail.
What did you get?
I rolled a 5, therefore it would be another 5 on top.
No, that's definitely not gonna hit. Although I'm not sure why it would only be a +5 on top. It should be a plus. Oh yes, because it's a sap, and you're not that well trained with a sap. So yeah, no, yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Okay, under which circumstances it is Phelan's turn.
Olorin, restrain.
Okay. So it is indeed, I was correct. It's an athletics check against his fortitude DC.
Okay, so Olorin's going to use one of his actions to step up,
Mm-hmm.
and then an athletics check of 21.
21 is not enough to grapple this guy. It's almost because of his bulk and his build, because of being a blacksmith. It's almost like the Olorin starts to try and pull him down, and he just sets his feet, and Olorin can't get a good enough grab on this guy.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. And I'm going to move a little bit closer, and that's me done. There's no other actions I want to take at this point.
Moz, you can hear the continual scuffle from inside. It does not sound like this guy is going down easy.
In that case, then Moz is going to be a little bit more active and noisy, as opposed to just walking forward relatively quietly, not deliberately stealthily. He's going to stomp a little bit more loudly, allow the plates to clash together slightly.
Mm-hmm.
And as he moves, he's going to. I'm going to move him forward a distance. I think I've done that one. 20 foot. Should get me deep into the darkness of the cave, which I appreciate. Not particularly wonderful otherwise, but I'll do. And he'll bellow out in his best intimidating nature.
Mm-hmm.
Attempt to look at the right phrasing here. Would it be demoralize or coerce as attempt to make him stand down?
Demoralised. Coerce is more trying to convince people to give over stuff through words alone. I think what you're trying to do here is demoralise him to the point where he's broken. So
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'd go with the intimidate check at this point.
In that case, then I'd like to use intimidating prowess. I appreciate it's in the dark. Intimidating prowess is in situations where we can physically menace the target.
I hate
think
to
being
say
blinded,
this.
beaten around the head.
I hate to say this, but the problem is he can't see you to be. I mean, even if you were close enough to match the fact that he doesn't have dark vision, he's blind. He can't see your presence. He has no idea about it, really. So I'm gonna say no.
Fair enough. In that case, then let's roll the dice and see where this goes. That's 14 on the dice, and intimidation is. I don't know. Which stat would you use for intimidation?
Well, it's it's
you plus 9.
You have a plus 9, yeah.
So 14 makes 23.
Okay, you begin to start shouting him down, telling him to basically give up or whatever. That is going to make him frightened. It does actually succeed, but it's not quite a critical success, I'm afraid. So that is the position he's in. Are you doing anything else? That's one action.
Move that, and I'll move forward another 20 feet just to further back up and step deeper into the shadows.
Okie dokie.
That's me. 40 foot, all in.
Okay, Inver.
Well, I could have intimidated him, of course.
You still
That
can.
would have been a plan.
You still
I know I could.
can.
What does frightened actually do?
-1 to pretty much every single one of his stats. Well, it's minus the stat value to pretty much every single one of his stats. That includes his will save, so technically he's easier to intimidate right now.
In which case, I will use Demoralize
Mm-hmm.
along with my message cantrip.
Yeah.
In the other ear this time.
Uh-huh.
Told you to surrender. You don't know who we are, how many of us there are, or what we can do to you. And I will take a 17 plus 13 for 30, please.
A 30 is a critical success. So what this will do is it changes his frightened condition from frightened 1 all the way up to frightened 3. Which is good because it means that at the start of his next turn, which is right away, it won't go down to 0, it'll go down to 2, so he's still going to be frightened. You do hear him sort of mutter under his breath, "I know who you are. I don't care. I just can't let you take me." Is there anything else you want to do?
So, Demoralize is an action, isn't it? Cantrip is an action. No, I'm gonna raise my shield again, having put it down to cast the spell.
Okay. So it is his turn. So at the moment he's absolutely terrible because it's at the end of the turn. It goes down, I believe. He's going to keep trying to swing. It does seem to be swings in desperation rather than swings in any real hope now. So we're going to do the clock again. I'm going to throw my D8 on the floor. That's not going to help, is it, at all? Let's try that again. There we go, let's get that. A 4 is just short. It's almost like he swings over the, sort of turns and starts swinging towards Olorin, but he doesn't quite go far enough to make the connection. Again, using that clock system, so there's that. A 3, he turns back ever so slightly, thinking he might have overcompensated, realising that he's going completely the wrong way. And then a 3 again, and he's just standing there. At the moment, he's basically got his back to you guys, and he's just swinging in completely the wrong direction from where you are. It looks like he's assuming that you're moving around him, but he's losing complete track of anywhere where you guys are. We'll go over to Neffy now.
Do I keep hitting him? Right, so he said, what was the phrase he said? I can't go back.
I can't go back. I can't let you take me.
Oh, okay. Then she basically says to him, I don't care about taking you back, I just want the stuff you stole.
No, it's mine by right.
Oh, if that's how he answers, she punches him again. She gave him the opportunity.
It's fair.
That is 26, I think, that time.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
26.
That's gonna hit still. So 3d6 plus 1.
9 points of damage. He's got nothing else to steal, so she's not going to bother.
Okay.
What weapon is he swinging at the moment?
The sword that you're after.
The sword. Can I disarm him? Is that an option?
So disarm is an option. What I would say is disarm is quite hard to do, but it is certainly an action you can take. So it classifies as an attack. It would be at a -5. You make a athletics check, so it's effectively athletics -5 against his reflex DC. Considering he's frightened, that is pretty much the best situation. If you succeed, it doesn't take the weapon straight out of his hand, but it would mean that the subsequent attempt to disarm him becomes easier. If you critically succeed, then you take the weapon out of his hand.
I've only got one action left.
You've got 2 actions left. You've only hit him over the head once.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to try and disarm him.
Okay, so make an athletics check. You get a -5 penalty because it is an attack action.
21. I was trying to do maths and my brain just went, nope.
21, I'm afraid, isn't even enough to take the weapon slightly out of his hand. Even though he is blind, it would appear that his ability to sort of nimbly move as he feels somebody trying to take the weapon out of his hand is actually pretty good.
I can't really do much else. Yeah, I can't really do much else.
Okay. You can make that second attack. You may hit. Well, it's technically a third attack now, so it'll be a +0.
Try. Nope.
Okie dokie. Phelan.
Okay. Command Olerin to grapple and restrain again.
Okay. Let's go for it.
Okay, that's a 27 this time.
27 is enough for a success. So, with a success, you have successfully grabbed the target. He becomes, he gains the grabbed condition. So, you have got hold of him now. The grabbed condition, on top of everything else that he has currently got, makes him immobile. And he's flat-footed, even more. I mean, you'd like to say even more so, but that is not entirely a thing. So yeah, he's pretty stuck now. Olerin does have another action.
So can he kind of increase the level of grabbedness?
So you'd make another grapple attempt. If you wanted to do it again, it would be at a penalty, but with the various things that he's now got, it'd be slightly easier to do.
So the usual -5 multi-attack.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's have a go. So that becomes 17.
Okay, so you've still got hold of him, but you've not managed to increase the level of the grapple.
So he's got a badger hanging off him.
Yeah, he does, which makes his life not that great, to be fair. He's now blind and basically can't move. Is there anything that you want to do as Phelan?
No.
No. Okie dokie. Moz, it is your go. I can't hear you if you're talking.
No, because I didn't press my press to talk.
That's fair.
So move forward 20 feet.
Yeah.
He's about as intimidated as he's gonna be. He's got a badger hanging off of him. He's got whisperings in his ear.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been repeatedly coughed around the head.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for him, except for the fact that. Or Moz feels vaguely bad for him for about half a second, then just steps forward and beats him around the head with the halberd.
Are you going to try and do this non-lethal, or are you just whacking him?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
So
I'll take the neg 4.
It might not be a neg 4, actually. I think it's neg 2. Let me just check that. Non-lethal attacks. A -2 penalty to attack rolls.
-2, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of +16, it's +14. Let's roll this. That's a 24.
A 24 with the neg 2 is a hit. Absolutely.
It is 2d10? and strength. Grab that one, and where's the other one? There it is. Is it 2d?
2d10, yep, plus your strength. It's exactly the same.
There's 10 plus strength, so 10 plus 4 for 14.
Okay, 14 more points of damage. He's still going, still swinging wildly with this weapon.
That's all three. A move, and a bonk.
Okay, fair enough. Inver.
Well, I can't intimidate him again.
No,
Demoralise him.
unfortunately
Like
not.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I think he really needs it. So I'm gonna use an action to raise the shield because I have a shiny new shield.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a new toy, and it makes me less squishy. So there's that. And then I'm gonna move so I can see what's going on.
Okay.
Oh no, actually I need to do. Oh, there's no grid, is there? Let me measure out where I'm going. 30 feet. Because I knew he was in range, I positioned myself really carefully so he was within spell range. But my movement is only 25, isn't it? So, where can I get to? I'll go the other side of the badger. So I'm
Okay.
gonna go there.
Yep.
So that's 2 actions. Oh, and I'm just going to whisper some shit in his ear again. I have no idea what I'm going to say, but it's going to be more in the thematic vein, trying to encourage him to do the right thing and just surrender the sword.
Yeah, he continues, every time you mention the sword, he continues to shout that it is his. He has the right to it. It is his sword. It's his family sword. Why should anybody else have it? Okay, so we're going to start swinging wildly again. So first one is going to be a 1, which is, again, nowhere near anybody. Completely wild. He's going to go for a 7 this time, though. That is going to potentially catch Neffy. However, he is still blind, and you are still hidden to him. So, I still have to roll an 11 or higher just to get the attack off. That is a 16. So he's then going to make the attack. However, this is still, he's attacked once, so this is still technically his second attack, so he is at a -5 penalty. A 4 on the dice for a 14 in total. No. No, I didn't think that would hit you. No. Okay, and for his third wild swing in the dark, thinking he must have moved or that you've got allies that must be behind him, he turns around again and does not carry on swinging at you. Neffy, it is your turn.
Sure, just keep it hitting. And at 20 again.
You
I
nat
like
20
these
again.
dice.
You nat 20 again. Okay, well that will be a critical hit. So nat 20, yeah, that will be a critical hit. Even though his armor class would normally not do that, you haven't beat it by the +10. You have still beaten it by with the nat 20, so that's fine. Because you what +10 to attack with that, so you get a 30. Yeah, his armor class is currently a 21, so the nat 20 jumps it up into the critical hit. So you're going to roll 3d6. You're going to add 1 to it, and then you're going to double the whole lot. Didn't hear that, I'm afraid.
Sorry, 26.
26 points of non-lethal damage. As you smack him, and I mean really smack him round the back of the head with the sap, he just drops to one knee and just go, "All right, enough." Enough!
I grab the sword.
Yeah, he has dropped the sword, so you can by all means grab hold of the
Mhm.
sword. No problems whatsoever with that. Okay. I can't see. You bash me over the back of the head. I get the bloody picture. Alright? Enough. Let's talk, okay?
Well, now he wants to talk.
Well, yes,
Those are the
because
best choices made all night.
clearly I can't see anything, and I thought I couldn't let go of the sword. It's my family's sword.
Are we about to hear his tragic backstory?
No.
It was my father's
It
sword.
was a pout.
I must honour him.
That was a- I think the DM just pouted. No.
It's mine. Okay, it's mine. I tell you.
I think you'll find it
Your
right now.
own. You're precious.
How can I steal something which technically belongs to me? Belong to Vol Rajani, you know. I'm my last
Yes.
surviving descendant. That mayor says that the sword belongs to his family just because it was stolen from us by kobolds a while ago and his ancestors snatched it from them. He says an heirloom is an heirloom and it's his right, but it's my heirloom.
And now neither of you can have it.
I tried to buy it off of him. Saved enough coin, raised 50 gold, then 100, then 200. He just kept on saying it wasn't for sale. I didn't have any choice. It should be in the Rajani family. It should belong to me.
Who was it who was raising the coin each time again?
Me. I raised the money.
As in,
every
who was
time.
raising the price? Who was raising the price, lad?
There was no raising the price. He just kept on insisting it was never for sale.
Well, then for sale.
So what
how it
choice do I
works.
have? It's my family's sword.
I can see where you're coming from, but stealing it wasn't the best choice.
Charged
Was it
me
the
for...
was it the blacksmith who had it? Sorry.
This is the blacksmith. It was the mayor that owned it, and it was just put on display in the Dawnflower Library.
Mm-hmm. And then this bloke went and stole it back.
Mm-hmm.
Other than to get it back in your family line, why did you need the blade?
I didn't. It belonged to my family, to Vol. She was the best of the Rose Guard and the best of my family, the Rajanis. I've tried to be mayor 4 times now to try and get ownership back. If I had the sword, people say it gives the town good luck. If I had it, then maybe then.
Why the push to be mayor? Other than because, you feel that you might be good for the town.
No, be in charge. There's no reason a Menems should always run this place. Osif says it's because his family is descended from heroes. Well, guess what? So am I. And I can do a better job than he can.
Seems like the first thing you need to do better is convincing other people that you can do better than the other guy. And I appreciate you haven't been able to do that for 4 times now, 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
stealing it when everyone's going to know in the next day or three, even if we don't take you back with it, as we need to, as we should do. Everyone would have known anyway that it was yourself, on account of the fact that you went missing the same night it did. And I just dragged your name and your family's name through the mud for it. All for the sake of a little bit of maybe publicity on your side, where you could say, yes, it's my family's blade, it's my heritage, and I support, say, it being given to the town. And then turning people so that they understand that it's your family's and more to your line, more to your choice. And then when you move it away,
Menem wouldn't do it. Menem would never ever let the townfolk think that that sword is my family's. He gifted it to the Dawnflower Library to make sure that people saw that the mayor was giving one of their family's heirlooms to be viewed by the public. It was always there as a symbol that it was his.
and what's your proof to be the heir to the blade?
The family name, the fact that I'm a legal descendant of the Rajani.
Then how did effectively is there any way you could prove that he came by the blade through other means? If it's your family's,
It doesn't.
it's
No,
your
because
lineage.
this is the point. He's saying it's theirs because his family recovered it when it was stolen.
And so they recovered your family's equipment. What's the proof of that it's your family's?
It's the cooperation blade. It's the sword wielded by my ancestor. This is an accepted fact of who I am and my family name.
If it's publicly provable.
Yeah, if it's an accepted fact, surely people know that then.
Yeah, but they also know that the Menem's family own the blade.
Did you share an ancestor? Is that where
No.
this comes from?
No, the blade itself was kept by my family. It was stolen by kobolds. The Menem's family recovered the blade. They therefore have decided it's theirs.
And you've not been able to turn public opinion against the Menems.
And neither
effectively
has the
stealing a
Menem's
blade.
been allowed me to buy it back, which would at least you'd think be a reasonable offer.
I might, but local politics is a pain.
I don't even think really this is politics. This is popular. This is that family. It's the Menem's family. They believe they own Atari. They believe they own everything of the legacy of Atari. It doesn't matter that there are other descendants that still live in the town. The Menems have run that town pretty much since the beginning, and they are not willing to give any of the history of it up. They believe they have the right to it, and nobody else does.
So, winding back in history a bit, because if it's your family's equipment, if anything was stolen by a thief, it would be returned reasonably to the family it came from. When the Menems went and killed the kobolds who presumably stole this and other equipment, what happened to the rest of the things they stole? Is this an old crime?
This is a long time ago.
Is this an old crime that was not followed through properly? Is this a conversation for the captain?
No, this is older than that. This is older than the captain. This is way before he was born, I'd imagine.
Is the Menem's ancestor as opposed to?
Yeah, it's not this Menem's that recovered the sword. It's before I was around. But But the story is known that that blade, the corporation blade, was wielded by my ancestor, but the blade is not owned by my family anymore. And the only reason we don't own it is because it was stolen from us.
So you stole it back.
What choice did I have? I won't take money for it. I've tried.
I can agree there's a moral component to this in that they should have, when they retrieved it amongst whatever other equipment they did, they should have returned it. But the problem is you did steal it in this occasion, which means you are going to be taken as a thief.
How can I be classified as being a thief when it's my family's?
Because you took
broke
it
into
without
the
permission.
Dawnflower and stole it without permission.
I'll stand on the concept that I might have vandalised something and broken in. Fine. But I won't stand on the idea that I stole anything. Look,
I think the best chance you've got is saying your piece as heartfelt as true as it is in front of a justice of the law. And that's going to be the best chance you've got. It's the only way that you're going to get a public hearing on this.
No, I can't go back. You got to understand this. I can't go back. The sword is mine. If I go back, if the sword goes back, if I go back, it will never be rightfully returned to my family.
I mean, part of our reason for being here is on account of the fact that we need that piece of equipment and a couple of other bits in order to solve the current problem that's going on elsewhere.
Okay.
At the moment, I think it's just, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, it's just a small group of individuals who have put two and two together to know that you've taken this. Am I right? That he's taken this?
Yeah.
A little bit of coin keeps a little bit of silence for a little bit longer. You go back to town. You don't know what's happened.
I can't go back to town.
Why?
Because there are enough people that saw what I did. Okay? There are enough. But if you don't take me back and you don't take the sword back to town, if you need the sword for something, bring it back here. You can take it, as long as I get it back.
I've no problem bringing it back once we're done with it.
I'll even
I don't care who has it afterwards.
pay you.
I'd rather see it back with the family line and rather see you and the family have it back publicly and take a coin myself. But I also do know, and so do you, that a law is broken to get it.
Probably when it was first taken from my family as well.
That's part of why I'm trying to see how far back the first crime was.
You won't be able to get anybody that goes against what the mayor says. Ever. Even records. Because they're written by that family.
Well, if it's constantly mentioned as your family's blade...
It's been known in the town that it is my family's blade for generations and has never been offered back and never been given any grace to take it back.
Why do you think that might be then?
Because it cements their power. They're the people that own 2 of the relics of the Rose Guard.
But if the rest of the town knows it was once your family's, why haven't they spoken out?
I don't know. Because it's been generations of being owned by the Menems.
I feel like you can't have this 2 ways. Either the townspeople know it's yours and should be willing to speak out in support of that, or actually they don't know it's yours and you're just choosing to believe that they do.
No, how can they not know it's mine? It's marked as the sword of Vol Rajani on the blimmin' plinth that they put the damn thing on. And they know that I am an ancestor of Vol Rajani.
So they know it was your ancestors. Doesn't mean they believe that it's come down the line.
It only hasn't come down the line because it was stolen by the Menems.
You know that.
Everybody knows that. It's a well-known thing.
And then we're kind of back to this discrepancy between knowledge and action then. If it's known, why aren't people righting that wrong?
Because
given that they aren't, why might that be?
Because they care more about their mayor and his family line than they ever have the Rajani line. Because how do you turn round to a family that has been mayor in this town for generations and say, you're a thieving family?
That's the thing. They were never thieves. They recovered something that was stolen. They should have been lauded as the finders, and then they should have returned the equipment. The failure is actually one of honor on their behalf, I would think, to argue. So much as I'm not one to disparage, if they fail to return someone else's property, even historically, that's a failure of honor of the individual's family.
Just let me throw this idea out here. We get all the relics we need and do the thing we need, and assuming we can then give the relics back, we nice and publicly go, right, we are now giving these relics back to their rightful owners, and the sword goes to Mr. Rajani. And if anyone complains, we shrug and go, but that was Vol Rajani's sword. What you going to do about it? And then the mayor can fluster. And then Olorin can bite him in the jam bags.
I heartily agree. But there's still going to be the case of young Mr. Rajani here, or Mr. Rajani here, getting back into town and actually being able to claim that.
Do you need me there to make that declaration?
Receive and intercept. Argue your case publicly. We can argue a bit for you, but if you're ever going to have it in your family's line,
I'm telling you now, regardless of the rights of my family, that town will back their mayor.
So what are you going to do? Hide in the woods with it forever? Go back and take it by force? What's your plan?
Well, if you guys hadn't found me, my plan had been to head to Nadal.
And do what?
What do you mean, and do what? Rajani, we believe, came from there. The stories all say that she was from that area. That may well have been some sort of royalty to that area. If nothing else, maybe I can get a new life there, and with the sword.
It's on an OC note.
Hmm.
Was that Nidal as in what I know of?
Yeah, Nadal that you know of, yes.
Oh, cool. She pulls out her sword.
Whoa, his eyesight's back now. Whoa, what?
Yeah, you're not fucking up to Nidal with this. No, not gonna happen. Nice try.
I'm
Why
not
would you
entirely
go there?
Because my family is from there?
Have you ever been there?
No.
Yeah, that's probably wise. Don't go there.
I have to say
the
this,
sword, but
I've got my eyesight back now, and I'm sorry, but if she tries to do that, I will protect the sword.
you're not going back to Nidal, or you're not going to
I'm not
Nidal.
sure you get to tell me where I can go and with what.
All right,
Effie,
you can go. I don't.
Give me the cooperative blade.
No, because you're going to give it to him. You're too nice.
No, I'm not going to give it to him.
Then give it to me, because I ain't giving it back after all this.
Good. I give it to I give it to Imber.
Fine. You've got mum and dad in the party telling you to do something. You've done what one of us said. It's fine.
Okay. Inva, look, wrap this round it. We'll stick it in the bag of holding so he can't be grabbed.
Yep, done. Sorted.
Neffy is just storming straight out of. She's done with this conversation now. She's gone.
Right. So the cooperative blade is safely wrapped up in case bag of holdings in this system have an allergy to sharp things, which Archives of Nethys does not imply.
No.
Do not tear the fabric of reality with the relic blade.
Oh no!
And then, right, okay. And then the bag of holding down my trousers. He's not after that any other reason.
Those questions have got to be asked about the things that you're happy to shove down your trousers.
You got any weasels?
No, but I used to know a man who juggled the goslings.
Oh dear. Right. Anyway, what are you going to do with this man?
Well, we've got the sword, and he's being all sorts of not with the useful suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should just leave him here and go off and do things. And,
Yeah,
and if anyone asks us where we found the sword, we found it in a smuggler's den. Enough said.
He's a grown-ass adult. He can make his own choices about what he does. So yeah, I vote for following Neffy.
There's a look on Carmen's face of like an initial flash of I've got to stop them, I've got to get my sword back, and then that whole his shoulders drop.
Unless, of course, you really want to come with us underneath the gauntlet and hold on to the sword while we do all the things we need to do with it. You brave enough for that, buddy?
You want to start a new and enterprising profession?
To make sure I know exactly. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll come with you if that's what it means.
We are not responsible for keeping you alive. That's your problem.
Yep, that's fair.
Okay. it seems like we have a constructive way forwards.
And with certain resignation, obviously I can't go back to town right now if you've got other things to do in town, but I will meet you outside the gauntlet.
As soon as we've agreed, I'm going to go and tell Neffy what's happening.
Has he got any other weapons on him at the moment, or was it just that sword?
He's got a light hammer on him.
Moz will unbelt his spare short sword and pang scabbard, and hand it off to him, just something for now, so you don't end up getting shivved in the dark or eaten or chewed on. Because as good as you are, maybe with a hammer for working, a sharp blade's useful. You're not going to have that one back till we're done with it.
There's going to be words when Imber realises, but right now Imber's out the cave, so
What? He's got a sword, and I'm going to give him a spare sword. I've got a big hitty stick and a spare hatchet. I'm not giving him the hatchet. I'm just giving him a spare sword.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
you
that
are
sounds like a
arming
sort
the
of execution
person who
hatchet.
wants to steal back the thing that we've just nicked, and you have just armed him.
Well, otherwise he's going to be a very good corpse when we come across the next group of, I don't know, ghouls.
Don't spoil the
Right.
I'm still planning on walking him in as a thief, but also giving him the sword back once he's earned it out of it.
You step out of the cave with these various different conversations going on. The decision on whether or not to let Carmen Rajani have the sword or not is now potentially a later discussion or a later problem for future selves. But at this point in time,
I came out so I could tell Neffy we had a new addition to the party. I thought
Oh,
she'd
yeah,
love
she's really
that
happy
news.
about this. Oh no.
But for the time being, we will call this session there. We hope everybody's had a little bit of fun with this moral dilemma. And we'll catch you next time, everybody. Say goodbye, players.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
players.
players.
Night, everybody. Bye-bye.